That inner voice telling you you're not enough. What if it's been lying about who you really are this whole time? We'll explore this shift, and I'll guide you through a meditation to experience it directly. Here's what we're discovering today. You are the light of the world, not metaphorically, but as your actual function and identity. And forgiveness is how this light operates, not as moral obligation, but as the practical tool that clears away everything obscuring your natural radiance. Think about the last time you walked into a room and immediately felt like you had to prove something. Maybe it was a work meeting, maybe a family gathering, maybe just scrolling through social media. That familiar tightness in your chest, that mental scramble to find the right words, the right image, the right response. We've all been there, trying so hard to be seen as worthy that we forget we already are. Imagine you're a lighthouse that's forgotten what it is, spending all day worrying about the darkness around it. The light never stopped shining. You just got so focused on the storms that you forgot your purpose was to be the light, not fight the darkness. Forgiveness is simply remembering to turn your attention back to the beam. I had a client once who came to me exhausted. She'd spent months documenting every slight, every injustice at her workplace. She had spreadsheets, actual spreadsheets, tracking who interrupted her in meetings, who took credit for her ideas, who got promoted when she didn't. Her whole life had become about proving she was being wronged. I just want them to see what they're doing, she said. But what she couldn't see was how this vigilance was dimming her own light. You're in a meeting where a colleague takes credit for your idea. Your stomach knots. Your mind races with comebacks and future conversations where you'll set the record straight. You replay it driving home, texting friends about it, carrying that familiar weight of being wronged. The mental energy spent crafting the perfect response, the hours lost to imaginary confrontations, the way your jaw stays clenched even at dinner with your family. But then something shifts, not the situation, just your attention. Instead of feeding the story, you pause and remember, your job isn't to fix every injustice, but to be the light that sees clearly through all the drama. This isn't about being passive or letting people walk over you. It's about recognizing that your worth was never on the table to begin with. They can't steal what was never up for grabs. Think about the lighthouse again. When fog rolls in, does the lighthouse panic? Does it try harder to shine? Does it blame the fog for existing? No. It just keeps being what it is. The fog isn't personal. The fog isn't an attack. The fog is just fog. And eventually, it lifts. That colleague who took credit, they're in their own fog, grasping for validation just like you were. The difference is that now you see it. Now you understand that their need to claim your idea comes from the same place as your need to defend it. The belief that worth is something we have to earn, protect, or steal from each other. This is where forgiveness becomes practical, not as some spiritual bypass where you pretend nothing happened, but as the clear seeing that recognizes everyone's scrambling for the same thing. When you stop needing to prove your light, you naturally forgive those still trying to prove theirs. Here's what changes when you remember you're the lighthouse. First, the exhaustion lifts. You realize how much energy you've been spending on defense, on proof, on maintaining your image. It's like you've been carrying a 100-pound backpack you forgot you were wearing. When you set it down, the relief is immediate. Second, your relationships shift. People feel it when you're not trying to get something from them, not their approval, not their recognition, not their validation. There's a spaciousness in your presence that wasn't there before. Ironically, this is when people start seeing your true value, not because you're performing it, but because you're finally just being it. Third, forgiveness becomes natural instead of forced. When someone cuts you off in traffic, takes credit for your work, or forgets to invite you to lunch, you see it differently. Not through rose-colored glasses that pretend it doesn't sting, but through clear eyes that recognize the fear behind the behavior. You remember your own grasping, your own fog, and something in you softens. The lighthouse metaphor keeps deepening. See, a lighthouse doesn't choose who deserves its light. It doesn't shine brighter for good ships and dim for pirates. It just shines. This is your actual job, not to judge who deserves your light, but simply to be it. This doesn't mean you become a doormat. The lighthouse has strong foundations. It stands firm in storms. But it doesn't mistake the storm for its identity. You can have boundaries, speak truth, take appropriate action, all while remembering that your light isn't dependent on anyone else's behavior. When you stop believing the stories your mind tells about your inadequacy and instead rest in your function as light, conflicts dissolve naturally. Not because you're avoiding them, but because you're seeing through them to what's really happening. That person who seems to be attacking you, they're just another lighthouse who's forgotten what they are, thrashing in their own storm. The shift is this: instead of spending your life trying to prove you're good enough, you remember you already are the light everyone's been looking for, including yourself. This isn't arrogance. It's the opposite. It's the humble recognition that the light isn't personal. It's not yours to hoard or lose. It's simply what you are when you stop trying to be something else. So today, when that familiar voice starts its litany of not enough, pause. Remember the lighthouse. Remember that your job isn't to fight the darkness or fix the fog. Your job is to shine. And in that shining, you might just remind others that they're lighthouses too. If this felt grounding, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. No rush. Just a gentle way to stay connected as we continue. Find a position where your body can settle. Let your eyes close when they're ready. Take one breath just for you, not to change anything. Just to arrive here. Notice any tension you're carrying from trying to be enough today. In your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. Just notice. No need to fix. Allow your breath to find its own rhythm. Like waves finding shore, somewhere in you, there's a light that never stops shining. You don't have to find it or create it. Just remember it's there. Feel the space around your heart. Soft. Open. This is where your light lives. If thoughts of inadequacy arise, let them. They're just old fog rolling through. The lighthouse doesn't mind the fog. Rest your attention on that steady light within, not forcing. Just noticing what's always been there. Breathe into that recognition. You are the light. Not becoming it. Not earning it, simply being it. Let that knowing spread through your body, into your hands, your feet, your face. Light doesn't dry, it just shines. If you notice yourself efforting, soften. Return to the simple fact of your light. Stay here as long as feels right. Resting in what you are, no performance needed. When you're ready, let your breath deepen. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Open your eyes slowly, bringing this recognition with you. The light goes where you go, because you are the light. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time with me today, for being willing to question that inner voice that's been running the show for so long. As you move through your day, be gentle with yourself when you forget you're the lighthouse. We all do. The light remains, waiting patiently for you to remember. Until next time, take good care.